When she woke up, she was completely wet with sweat. She smoked. Remember, the doctor told her she was going to die. She's smoking and drinking, and he knew it wasn't good for her. Well, anyways, when she woke up, she was completely wet with sweat. She smoked and paced the floor until the sun came up. Cecilia's husband, Joseph Spotted Bear, left for work, and the children left for school. Since Cecilia's babysitter did not show up, she stayed home with the baby. After Cecelia put her baby to sleep, she knelt by her bed. "Jesus," Cecelia cried, "I'm a sinner. I'm so sorry for my sins. Please forgive me. Alcohol and tobacco have controlled my life. I can't control them. I am so tired of living this way. Please take these habits from me. I'm tired of telling lies to cover up my evil habits. Lord, you know that the doctor said I'm going to die soon. God, be merciful to me and let me live. Here, God, is my life and my heart." She lost track of time when all of a sudden it felt like a big, heavy load was taken off her back.
Amen.
For the first time in her life, she felt free. She stood up and didn't feel the floor under her. She felt so free that she felt like she was floating. She could not wait to tell her family about Jesus and what he had done for her. She thought, "This is the best thing that I have found. I just know my relatives and friends will be happy to hear it." Suddenly she remembered the Bible her youngest daughter had gotten from a church. She tore the place apart until she found it. It was like finding buried treasure. She looked up the verses that the clown had read. She cried and laughed, thanking God for his word. She clutched the Bible to herself. She started in Psalms and could not stop reading. Cecelia waited all day for her family to come home. She was at the door when her children came. As soon as they walked in after getting off the school bus, she started telling them, "Jesus forgave my sins. I'm washed clean in his blood." The children glanced at their mom and walked on by. She had lied to them for so many years that they did not believe a word she said. When Cecelia told her husband, he thought she was nuts. She was disappointed that no one seemed to understand the great change that had happened. Cecilia's brother brought her a case of beer and a quart of vodka for a Christmas present. She gave it back to him. He asked, "Did you quit again?" "Yes, I quit." Her brother shook his head and said, "I'll give you 2 weeks before you'll be wanting another drink." As a birthday present, her husband, Joe, bought her half a gallon of vodka. When he realized that she was going to pour it out, he was horrified. Joe bought it back from her. Almost daily, someone was coming, trying to get her to start drinking again. But God delivered her from the evil habits of alcohol and tobacco.
Amen.
It was like she had never touched the stuff. Wow. Joe was angry. Now his wife was not drinking with him. She wasn't bootlegging wine on the reservation. He missed the money she had made doing that. He did his best to make her life a living hell on earth. For 2 years, he beat her until finally he left because of a court-issued restraining order. Then Christmas time came, and Cecelia didn't know what she would do. Christmas was only a few days away, and Joe was gone. When he had slammed the door and peeled out of the yard, she had not thought about it. Now it dawned on her that she had no money. How could she give anything to her 8 children? What about Christmas dinner? As she washed dishes, she told God all about it. "Lord," she cried, "we have nothing for Christmas. I want gifts for each of the children and food, Lord. Food for a big meal, and apples, oranges, peanuts, and mixed nuts, and candy, Lord. All we have is $40. That won't buy all of that." The next day, Cecelia looked in the stores, but she could not find anything that she could afford. As she walked from store to store, she was talking to the Lord in her mind, asking for help. In one of the stores, her pastor's wife came up to her and handed her $40. Now she had $80. She thought, now I can buy a $5 gift for each child, and we can buy some food. Thank the Lord. However, she found that the money didn't go very far. She could only get a canned ham. At least everyone could have a slice, she thought, and a few other things. Remember, there's 8 of them, plus her, that's 9, so that's a lot to feed. The family was hauling the sacks into the house when a child said, "Mom, look, a box of gifts." Inside the door was a box of wrapped gifts for all the children.
Oh.
It was from Batesland School, the first time they had received anything from the school. On the table was a big box of oranges, 2 big brown bags full of mixed nuts and salted peanuts. Cecilia's pulse quickened as she put gifts under the tree. There was something for everyone, and even goodies to eat. The next day, to her amazement, her brother-in-law, Walter Littlemoon, took her to town and loaded a grocery cart full of candy, pies, and a big box of apples. "Merry Christmas," he said as he unloaded the car. This was the only time he ever helped them. When Cecelia came into the house, a huge box was just inside the doorway. It was full of clothes, toys, shoes, shampoo, lotion, soap, towels, games, and things for teens, even for her. And on the table was the biggest turkey she had ever seen. Everything she needed to make a good meal. Tears streamed down Cecilia's face. It was Christmas Eve, and God has sent everything.
Amen.
The children said, "God heard and answered our prayers, Mom." That evening, Joe came with gifts from his mom for his children, so Cecelia wrapped the can of ham and gave it to him to take to her as a gift from them. She had not needed that ham after all. Joe and Cecelia got divorced, but he continued to come back to visit his children. One time he came to show his new car. "Come on, Cecelia, come out and see my car." Cecelia was afraid. "No, Joseph." "Oh, come on, I promise I won't hit you." Reluctantly, Cecelia followed Joe out to the car. As soon as she got in the driver's seat, Joe got in the passenger side. Cecelia froze in terror. Joe growled, "I'm going to beat you so bad that no one will be able to recognize you."